But the first thing I want to dive into today is actually about marriage and relationships and the biggest lesson you learned about leadership from mistakes you've made in marriage. I'm curious if you'd be willing to talk about that first.
Oh, yeah, I can talk about that. Margaret and I have been married for 54 years, okay? So let's start there.
54.
54, yeah. And my
That's
parents were
incredible.
married for 65. And then, no, I'm wrong. They were married for 68 years. And
Wow.
so Dad lived up till, Dad worked, my father worked full time through his 95th year and passed away at 98. But when you think of marriage, there are several leadership lessons I've learned from it, but one of them is the fact that you both have to give 100%. It's not 50-50. You hear people talk about, well, let's do 50-50. They're talking about equality, I know, in a relationship. But I think that marriage is too hard to be 50-50. It's got to be 100-100. Yeah, it's everything worthwhile is uphill. It's all uphill. Everything worthwhile. And if you have a great dream, it's uphill. If you have a great marriage, it's uphill. And you can't go uphill 50%. You gotta be 100%. And there's a commitment that you make to each other. And it has nothing to do with adversity, difficulty. I mean, every marriage has hard days, deserts, but people that get divorced don't get divorced because they had greater problems than people that didn't get divorced. It's just a different mindset. There's a different attitude toward it. I think that makes a huge difference. I think it's not only 100 and 100, but I think that respect is essential in a marriage. I learned a long time ago that, when you lose respect for somebody, you lose energy and effort in the cause. And so I think it's all about giving the other person space to develop their own giftedness. If you've been to every wedding ceremony where they take and blow out two, they light the middle candle and blow out the two. And I always want to say, no, don't blow out those candles. You don't lose your individuality when you get married. Good Lord. You want to keep your own candle lit. You have gifts that pertain to you, and you want to maximize those gifts. And I think there's a respect and appreciation for allowing that person space to develop themselves and not try to make them conform to here's what I am and here's what I need and here's what I want. The reason that dating works so well is you always think about the other person first. That's why it works well. I mean, think about it. You're going on a date. What can I get? Get her some flowers, take her to a good restaurant, make sure I seat her. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about her. It's all about her. And then what happens when people when they get married, it's all of a sudden, it's all about me. When you go take care of my needs. And that's why dating flourishes and marriage sometimes flounders. It doesn't, it doesn't work that way. You just have to really always be focused on it's all about the other person, adding value to them.
Right.